Welcome to the Showgirl Connection. I'm your host, Luann. Today in the studio I have with me two of my favorite people. I have Sue Kim Chung and Heather Caputo. And so I'm just going to jump right in and let them tell us about what they do, because I know Sue Kim is with the Special Collections Department at UNLV, and she's also on the board of the Showgirl Legacy Foundation.
Yeah, I am the head of public services and special collections and archives, where I handle instruction, reference, and outreach for our division. But the reason I'm connected to Showgirls and the history of Showgirls is in my role as curator of entertainment history in Las Vegas at the Special Collections. And so in that capacity, I have worked to collect materials documenting the history of showgirls and dancers and production shows and just entertainment in general, and bringing those into special collections and archives to preserve.
So when you say materials, can we bring you costumes?
No, we take primarily two-dimensional objects. So we are paper, we're an archive, so we take paper things. So could be photographs, could be costume design sketches, production notes, sheet music, variety of paper-based items. We don't take artifacts. That's more in the realm of museums. For example, Gran Filippo's Showgirl Museum, he specializes in collecting costumes, and the Nevada State Museum also has costumes as well. So it's a different kind of collecting and exhibiting. We are more here for researchers to come in and do research on documents and archives.
So then the students also have access to it?
Oh yes. Our primary user group is always our student body at UNLV, but we have a lot of community users and a lot of folks working on documentaries and books and articles and news segments all come in and look at our materials, and also they come at us through our digital portal, the Special Collections and Archives portal, where they can actually download photographs and costume designs and things like that.
So, and the portal is like a website. So
yes, I'm sorry, using a library technology, library terminology. So our portal, which is it's a website where you can encounter our digitized photographs, digitized costume designs, and download them. You can encounter inventories to physical material in the collection that's not yet been digitized, and it's very easy to access at special.library.unlv.edu. And just a wonderful treasure trove of materials for people to get started in their research on any kind of Las Vegas history, but especially showgirl and entertainment history.
And I know you were doing like oral interviews with the show people as well?
I have done oral history interviews of Pete Menefee and Jerry Jackson, Alan Clancy, and some dancers as well from the early period of Las Vegas entertainment history dating back to the 50s and 60s.
And so don't you also work with the, I'm saying the gay community, but I can never remember the acronyms because they keep adding.
I'm actually the curator for entertainment history, and then also LGBTQ history and women's history as well.
And you do presentations at the Flamingo Library.
Yes, I do a series called Fishnets and Spotlights with the Clark County Library on Flamingo, and I solicit panelists and I come up with themes. And we've done a lot of panels featuring different production shows, Casino de Paris, Lido de Paris, we've done Showboys, we've done Back of the House. We have done individual folks like Sue Kim of the Kim Sisters, and Sal Angelica, one of the most notable male dancers here in Las Vegas. Lots of really great stuff on the entertainment world, ranging from the 50s through the 90s and beyond. So.
Thank you for explaining that. And so, Heather, what about you? I met you when you were working on the Showgirl documentary.
Yes.
With Vegas PBS.
It's been 9 years, I think Sue Kim and I just talked about. 9 years since we've met, 8 or 9.
2018.
Yeah, when we were doing the Showgirl Legacy art show. I just looked at the date when we recorded it, and that's when that was. It's been that long.
Oh, that was down at the Arts. What's that building? Not the Arts Factory. The Arts. Is that what it's called?
I can't remember.
It's on West Charleston and Main Street. It's called the Art. that building at Charleston and Main Street and have a restaurant.
The Arts
and-
Factory.
The Arts Factory, is that what it's called?
I think so.
That's right, we did, that's right, that's where I first met you.
Mhm.
Because we, the Showgirl Legacy Foundation does a presentation in the schools.
Yeah.
And we had our presentation at the Arts Factory upstairs, and that's when you came.
Yes.
And
you had a reunion.
yes, it was a
So-
combination of a reunion and the Showgirl art presentation with the live Showgirl.
That was
Okay.
wonderful.
That was fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed that a lot.
And we really appreciated you coming in too and documenting it. And then because I was looking at the documentary that you did last night, because you texted me and said you were watching it too.
I did. It has been a little while.
Yeah, and there was footage from that presentation at the Arts Factory.
Mhm.
Yeah. And so, and then you worked on that documentary, wasn't that 20?
It came out in 2020. The actual documentary itself came out in 2020.
It was 2020?
Mhm.
Because I felt like we were kind of working on it when COVID.
We were. It actually took quite a while.
Yeah,
Yeah, it took a while.
yeah, because I know you're working on that project for a long time.
Yeah. We
And-
had to reshoot some stuff, and we kind of revamped it a bit, and so yeah. But we ended up with something that we're really proud of.
Yeah, that was a great documentary.
Thank you.
So you must have had a lot of experience putting together documentaries.
Quite a bit.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about that, because that was top of the list, A+ documentary, right? We were all so
She
happy.
is an Emmy Award-winning producer, so she didn't say that part.
No, I did not.
So I will say it for her.
Yeah, that's right. So, yeah, tell us about that.
Yeah, I've got a couple Emmys and some tellies and some awards for various shows, and I've been doing it a long time. I actually got my start when I was in radio at NPR, and they said, hey, you're a good writer, why don't you just start writing some TV for us at PBS? So that's how I got into it. I started just creating documentaries for PBS in Southwest Florida.
Oh, you started in Florida.
Mhm.
And so how did you get to Florida, Vegas, the PBS in
Vegas
Vegas?
PBS?
Yeah. Are they
They had an
connected?
open job.
So they're all
Yeah.
connected?
No,
Oh,
no. I mean, there's a general connection, but there's not there's an independent nature.
so it's not like you can't jump to different
No.
Vegas PBSs
No, it's
throughout
not
the
like a
United
school
States.
district or anything like that.
Okay.
So yeah, they had some open positions, and I needed a change because the PBS in Southwest Florida just didn't want to hire me at what I needed to earn. So
Funny how that happens with nonprofits.
I graduated, and I was very excited, and they said sorry.
But how long were you with the Vegas PBS in Florida?
Well, I was with PBS in Florida for 7 years.
Okay. And then here you just retired, right?
I did in October.
And how many years were you here? 20, 25?
18
18
years.
Wow.
So it was quite a while.
Yeah.
And now I'm on my own.
So did the Showgirl documentary win any awards?
Mhm.
Which awards did they?
It won an Emmy. It won 5 tellies.
Wow.
And I was really excited because one of them was for picking the music, which I thought was really neat because I had picked all the music for the whole show. And I've always loved doing that. And so to win the telly for that was really exciting. I loved it.
Oh, wow. So what does Telly mean? Telly award?
Telly is an international award.
Okay.
And it's got, I think, 20,000 people that enter it each time. So it's
And different categories or
Mhm.
just music? Different
different
so-
categories,
Okay.
right? So for the Showgirl, I won the documentary and the music, and beauty and fashion
Nice.
was another one.
Woohoo.
Knew you'd be proud of that.
Yeah, Showgirls. Fashion. Pete Menefee, Bob Mackey.
Oh yeah, Bob Mackey loved the show. He got a message back to us and said he was really happy with it. So
Oh, when I was looking at our, who all was in there, it was like Pete Menefee, Bob Mackey, Nancy Housels, Oscar Goodman, Michael Green, Blair Farrington, Lance Burton, Diane Palm, Jerry Jackson. I mean, you found like the real, heavy hitters of the shows and that organized all those shows. And I think it was a combination of course, Vegas PBS has a great name, but you too. I mean, you were really good at pulling everybody together. And
Well, I had a lot of help from
Yes.
my friend Luann.
that's what were we? So Grant and I were production assistants and casting coordinators.
Yes, I couldn't have done it without you and Grant. Grant Filippo has been amazing for the entire show. He's been a great
Yeah.
help in the industry, and he's a good friend. So I'm very thankful that he helped. I could not have done it without you and him, for sure.
Oh, and we both loved working
You
with
made it possible.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's near and dear to my heart. So, I mean, it was so much fun to work on that project with you.
Yeah, it was fun.
And how many people did you say have been watching that documentary so far?
It's up to almost 30,000 on YouTube, and that's just
Nice.
on YouTube. Because
Oh.
PBS has it on their stations too. It's actually in quite a few different PBSs across the nation.
Oh, it
So-
is, because I remember at one point you didn't know if it was going to go
It's
beyond
just online.
Nevada.
It's
Okay.
just online.
Okay.
Yeah, they had the option of playing it nationally. We had a couple distributors come to us, and they didn't do that. So
Okay. I find it, that it's that Showgirls is such a unique niche to Las Vegas. I've tried to promote my shows and outside of Vegas, and people love the history of the stage show spectaculars and the Showgirl in Las Vegas, but they see it as our history. So to get like my exhibits beyond has been a struggle. I mean, they'll come to Vegas and see it and love it. So when you're collecting things from so I'm bouncing back and forth because something just came into my mind. Speaking of, so when you're collecting information with the Special Collections Department, I mean, it's coming from all over the world, right? Because I know a lot of us have moved. I danced with women from all over the world.
Well, it does focus primarily on Las Vegas, but because these shows have had a wider reach and sort of their origins were in Paris, we do have material dealing with sort of the Paris cabarets and other locations where these big production shows, these cabaret shows were located. But the primary focus is Las Vegas, but with some little bit of reach to Paris and other European cities where maybe the Bluebell Girls appeared,
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah, or Karen Burns Productions
Yes,
and
exactly.
Hello Hollywood,
Reno,
Hello in
yes.
Reno. Yeah. But I would think that you're getting people donating materials from all over the world because there was so many people that worked in those shows.
Oh, you mean that they're physically located
Yeah.
somewhere and they donate? Yes, that's true. People they write a memoir. They live in Australia, but they lived here in Las Vegas, so they're writing a memoir of their time, things like that. They have a collection, their own little personal archive that they collected when they were a performer, and they're moving somewhere and they live someplace else and they wanted to have a home. Yes.
So that's what you're like. So let's say if somebody was listening to us and they were a former Showgirl or Bluebell, how would they reach out to you or be able to
They
connect?
can certainly reach out to Special Collections, and we're easy to find, special.collections@unlv.edu. And they can reach out with an email saying, I was a performer and I was in this such and such show in Las Vegas. Would you be interested in my material? So they just start out with an email like that.
Okay. Yeah, I remember we went to a woman's house that had passed away, and one of her relatives had reached out to us, and they had like boxes of
Programs
programs
and programs,
photographs.
yes. And she had been a Bluebell girl, and she had danced in Argentina, and she was from England. Like the path of many Bluebell girls, of course, starts in England.
Yeah.
And she had traveled and danced in different places in the world, and she had ended up here dancing, I think, in the Lido, of course. And so her material ended up with us, and so what it is it enables us to preserve the legacy of individual performers,
Yeah.
and then collectively the history of a big show like Lido de Paris at the Stardust, or any other show, big production show in Las Vegas.
Well, I think you're a really good source of information because I remember you mentioned that you couldn't have done it without Sue Kim, too, because she helped you with some
it was
information
essential.
and material that...
Yeah, it was essential. You helped me right from the start with all the research, and you were so generous with your time. It was wonderful. And you allowed me to come in and film with you and film
Oh, wow.
in the special collections. It was really nice.
It's my my favorite thing. It's my love, my showgirl history, and it's the thing I really enjoy the most. There's many things about my job I enjoy. I love working with students. I love teaching students, but my showgirl history is my love.
So was it your friend Sarah or was that inspired you to start collecting history on the shows?
I started at UNLV at a time in 1999, and shortly afterwards we collected the papers of Don Arden, the legendary show producer Don Arden, from his partner. At that time, it had only been maybe 5 or 6 years since Don had passed, and so my director at the time, he went and picked up Don's papers in Palm Springs, and that was probably one of the first collections I processed as a manuscripts librarian there in Special Collections and Archives. So I learned a lot about showgirl history through working with those papers. And then I happened to meet, when I was a newly transplanted Las Vegan here, and I met a showgirl who was dancing at Jubilee. She had just moved to Las Vegas from Paris, and we kind of became a little unusual pair, showgirl and librarian. We became besties, and I learned. So she was working in the show that the last show that Don Arden had created, Jubilee, and so I knew a lot about the show via the history and the archives I was processing and organizing for the libraries, and then I got to hear about firsthand things, and I got to see the show over and over again. So I got to see the actual costumes that I've seen in the archive. I've seen the costume designs. I got to see them in real life.
That's great.
And through her, just kind of snowballed. I met a lot of different people in the profession, or had formerly been in the profession, like yourself, and lots of different former dancers, and so I just treasure that, and it's just became a big part of my life.
Because so how much space do you have? I mean, I've been back, well, you've been back there too, where all the information is. How big is that space of where you're collecting stuff?
Now you put me on the spot.
Uh-oh.
I don't think I can remember the exact number, but we have so many amazing collections of material. I mean, if I could list them, in addition to the Don Arden papers, we have the Jerry Jackson papers. If anybody remembers Bill Moore, who was notable for his ice skating shows, City Lights is probably the most famous. We have the papers of individual performers, papers of people like Matt Gregory, who did some of the mini reviews in the 70s. We have the papers of Harold Minsky, who did some shows here in the 70s as well, and just so many different varieties of materials on entertainment. Those are the ones that come to mind, of course. And just different individual performers as well. We have oral histories, we have photographs, we have costume designs. So much material. I can't give you the exact, I don't know. You should have prepared me to give you an exact
No,
number.
you don't have to tell me. But it's big.
Yeah.
It's a big space. I mean, when you walk back there, I mean, it's just aisles and aisles and shelves.
Well, it's not all entertainment history, to be fair. Some of it's all about Las Vegas.
Okay.
So a portion of that is Las Vegas entertainment history, but
okay. And then you're also collecting just Las Vegas history and maybe
can
casinos.
be anything to do with Las Vegas history of water and the environment. It could be the history of nuclear testing. Everything that makes up Las Vegas history in the umbrella of Las Vegas history is what we collect. So entertainment is a big part of that, and that's probably one of my favorite parts, but there's a lot more to Las Vegas than just entertainment. So we do collect all of that material and provide this sort of totality of material for people to research. And we have researchers on campus, or students, graduate students, faculty, and then outside researchers that come from all over the world to use our materials.
Very cool. Okay, we need to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, Heather, I want to talk more about let's talk more about the documentary.
Okay.
Because that documentary is just really special.
Thank you.
Okay, so don't go away. We'll be back. We're talking to Sue Kim and Heather.
Two.
So we're back with Sue Kim and Heather, and Sue Kim was just talking about, how she, what inspired her to get in, to really start researching the Showgirls. And I didn't realize, I should have known this, but I never really thought about it, that you're collecting all of our history.
Yes, all of Las Vegas history.
All of Las Vegas history. So I want to ask Heather, what inspired you? Did you just come up with the idea to do a Showgirl documentary?
No, it had been something that Vegas PBS wanted to do for a long time.
Okay.
I know that Tom Axtell, the former general manager there, I know that he was very excited about doing it for a long time. The programming manager there at the time, Cindy Robbins, also wanted to get it going. I believe it was her idea, and they came to me after wanting to do it for some time, and I got to do it. So
they figured you were the good one, the good person to do it.
Yeah, I was really happy. I did a lot of the documentaries there at Vegas PBS.
So what other documentaries did you do?
Well, I've actually worked with Sue Kim on quite a few of them.
Really?
African Americans, the Las Vegas Experience.
Okay.
That also won an Emmy. And the Makers, Women in Las Vegas History, that was a series of documentaries. And let's see, I've done quite a few. Going back 18 years.
Yeah.
I've done quite a few.
That kind of became your niche.
Mm-hmm. I found my very first documentary that I'd ever done that's 20 years old now, and it's still airing.
Oh my goodness.
Isn't that crazy?
Which one is that?
It's called Florida Cowman. And I did it in Florida, and it was on the Florida cattle industry. And I loved it because I did a bunch of reenactments, and we had people dressed up, and they had their fake guns, and they were going out and doing this whole scene, and I loved it. They were real cowboys chasing down herds of cattle with their dogs, and it was really, other than the Showgirl, it was my favorite.
Okay, I'm glad you said that.
No, the Showgirl was the favorite, and I know a lot of people, they say I can't say what my favorite was. That's like saying my favorite child. But Showgirls was my favorite.
So why was Showgirls your favorite?
I felt like I got to do something that really felt important, because I so much believe in the Showgirl as an icon in the city. And I wanted to be able to help promote that and help promote her legacy and potentially, hopefully, bring her back. Right. To some extent. There's got to be a show. There's got to be something to get her back. And I wanted to be part of that. So
I'm going to interrupt and say, and it's also important to have the story told correctly.
Yes.
And the story told by the people who were actually part of the story. So you made sure that was the thing. And so you being part of the staff that worked on the show, the crew that worked on the show, you made sure that they had the people that worked, a variety of performers. And then you had Jerry, and then you had Pete. You had people that were back in the house.
And the costume designers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it's important to have those people that actually worked in the shows tell that story. So I think that's one of the best parts about your documentary.
Thank you.
I totally agree.
Yeah, it can't be a fluff piece.
No.
You really got to dig in. And I try to do that with all my documentaries. It's like I do a lot of research, and I try to find out who the real people are that I need to talk to, and then I dig down. And I just keep digging until I find out the people that are really at the heart of the story.
So you said you worked with a couple of other projects with Sue Kim. What other projects were you guys working on together?
Didn't we work on African Americans together?
I'm sure I helped provide some of the photographs.
I think so. I know that I was over there.
For sure.
Makers, we did. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was a neat series.
That's a great series. It's available online. If you really want to learn about all the women who have the movers and shakers in Las Vegas history that have done amazing things in Las Vegas, Makers is a great series.
Okay, thank you, because I was like, Makers, what does that mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Makers, Women in Nevada History.
Yes. Was working with Dr. Joanne Goodwin, who had been at the time the director of the Women's Research Institute of Nevada, and it had been sort of one of her kind of pet projects to kind of make sure that we all know about these women who were influential in Las Vegas history, because a lot of there was a famous book that came out in 1999 called Las Vegas: The First 100.
I have that book. Yeah.
And really, when you look at it, there's very few women profiled in that book. So Makers is something that kind of makes up for that by telling you all the other women that that you were part of the Las Vegas story.
Oh, that's great. So what are you doing now?
Now
How long have you been
am
retired from Vegas PBS?
since October,
Okay.
and
that's-
I actually am just working on it.
Congratulations.
I'm hoping it's going to be the coolest project I've ever done. I feel like
Besides
it could be
Showgirls.
the most impactful.
Besides Showgirls.
Well, this one is going to go in schools, hopefully. We
Oh.
hope that it's going to help educate school children. And what it is it's called the Nevada Symphony Learning Project. And it is, Tom Bruner is this amazing composer and performer. And 5 years ago, he created what is called the Nevada Symphony. And it is a 45-minute symphony that he came to me after I retired and said, Heather, I've always wanted to add footage to this and make it a movie.
Oh.
And I thought, that is fantastic.
So
And
it's already a documentary.
no, it's
No.
already a finished symphony. So he's got the symphony recorded.
Okay.
He wants me to take his music and add footage to it so that it's a film about music. With,
wow.
see, he very much wants to communicate the history of Las Vegas. The history of the people, the history of the land, the evolution. He wants to help educate. And so he came to me knowing I was with PBS all those years. And I started thinking, well, what can I do with this that takes his passion for what he wants to express, his storyline, and actually make it something that could help students and help people learn more about Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So I started doing a bunch of research, and I looked into what it was that his inspiration was, and I thought, well, I can insert something about mining there, or I can insert something about the train industry there. I can insert, all sorts of little lessons within the symphony. So
That are going to tell the story of Las Vegas.
yes, and
how
my hope is
how long will it be?
it's going to be 50 minutes. So right now I'm working with a symphony. I'm hoping to get them on board and to actually record it live, because I think that would be fantastic, wouldn't it? To have the live performance of the orchestra
Yeah.
and be able to intermix the footage that we add to it. So of the
Wow.
historical things, of the people and places, of the evolution, it could be really fantastic.
And someone
So,
will be talking.
it's not,
No.
it's going to be a lot like Showgirls, in that it's going to be the music,
Yeah.
and then Tom Bruner is going to be in it. He's going to talk real briefly just about, hi, I'm Tom Bruner, and he's going to introduce what his story is about, and
And then
And
the
we're gonna
music's
go to
going to tell
town.
the story?
the music and the visuals are going to tell the story. Isn't that going to be interesting?
Wow.
It's a challenge. It's a
that
unique
would
challenge.
be a real challenge. And then what is the music? I mean, you said the
It's
symphony.
beautiful. It's classical. We'll have to, when we put our resources up, I've got some information on that, so
Okay.
that would be great.
And what's the name of your new company?
HJC Productions, LLC.
HJC.
Mm-hmm.
Heather
Heather Joe Caputo. And yes, people used to call me that. Heather Joe. I didn't like it.
Stop calling me Heather Joe. I
Just
just like
Heather,
it.
thank
It's got a
you.
little ring. Heather
It
Joe.
does. And now Heather Joe Caputo, I mean, that's just flows right off the tongue, right?
Oh, that sounds really interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, what else can we talk about? What did we not talk? What did I not ask? What questions did I not ask you that you wanted to talk about?
Oh, goodness. We talked about our projects.
Yeah.
Talked about Sue Kim's love of entertainment and Showgirls.
Oh, you said
and
Sue Kim's love, and I'm like, no, we haven't talked about her
Entertainment,
love.
of love of
love of
entertainment.
entertainment and
Okay.
Showgirls, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our partnerships, and Sue Kim comes to me quite a bit with wonderful ideas.
Yes, I love to come up with ideas of documentaries that Heather could do, that we could just find like somebody that could provide all the funding for said documentary. So, because
Yes.
that's one thing I learned about from Heather, that it does take more than a village. Like it takes a village of researchers, but it also does take funding to create
Yeah.
documentaries. So, but I do have, because of my love for history, I have lots of great ideas, which I kind of push at her, but doesn't necessarily mean they're going to happen tomorrow, but she keeps them in the back of her head, so.
I do. I have a
I love that.
Rolodex in there.
Of
I
yes.
love that. Because sometimes things can just like roll around in your head, but unless
Yeah.
you bring them out and talk and brainstorm, and then they grow and
Think about funding sources, things
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, that's where I'm at with my current project. I'm actually working on a couple projects, and it's always about the funding.
yeah,
Takes a lot of money to make a show, you know that.
yeah. So who are your film people you're working with?
I've got a few people that I've worked with that were at PBS.
Okay.
I've got some other people that are with Mr. Camera. Dan Jacobs from Mr. Camera is great. He helped me on my last couple documentaries. And so I'll be working with his crew, with my own crew. I've got some new people that I'm working with. I've got some associate producers, so it's pretty
Wow,
exciting. I'm getting a
that
team.
sounds really
I'm getting a whole
exciting.
team.
Yeah, so it's like you're building your own team out of Vegas PBS because you had that team for all those years with Vegas PBS, so it's nice to.
Yes, I've got a couple people from Vegas PBS that I'm still working with, but definitely a lot more on the outside, and
Yeah.
it's really neat. I'm
Yeah.
loving it. It's kind of wild being out there on your own.
Wild, Wild West.
It is after, I've been working since I was 14 in a full-time job, so
Yeah,
to now be doing it all for myself is very interesting.
or like collectively 25 years with
Yeah.
PBS.
Yeah, it had been a long time. So, but I loved being at PBS. I really did.
Oh, Vegas PBS. I mean, PBS is a great organization.
Yeah, I'm very proud. And I try to still really push the virtues of PBS because I still very much believe in that.
Yeah.
And I try to create content that is educational and that means something to someone.
Yeah.
So that's forward ideas and inspire,
Yeah.
educate,
Oh, and the building that they, well, when did their new building? I mean,
2010?
was
I
it
believe.
2010?
Yeah, not
Yeah.
so new anymore. So.
Yeah, I
Right,
know.
right, that's true. It's just been a while. But I remember coming in there and you had me interviewing some folks in Connection. And I remember going in there and just your studios were great. Your team, you guys all worked so well together. I was just so impressed.
Yeah, we have a great team there.
Yeah. Yeah. I bet you miss them I bet you miss them too. I mean, I'm sure it's nice to be retired, but I bet you miss them a little bit.
I miss the daily grind. I miss, I had a favorite show there that I was working on called Student Spotlight, and I miss that daily getting out there into the classroom and filming with them and just the running and the stories and and it was a great little show. They're doing really well on it now, Student
Okay.
Spotlight. So
Nice.
yeah, so I miss people there, of course.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I think it's the
I've just
people.
been so busy that
That's
I haven't
great.
had too much time to reflect.
That's good.
I know.
That's good. I mean, I've kind of feel that way. I've been retired for 3 years from the water district, and all of a sudden, like all these projects just, right? All these projects just keep coming your way, and it's just,
Yeah.
there's that little sense of freedom that you can pick and choose your projects, and
Yeah.
it's a whole different world.
Do things that you really believe in, that
Yeah.
you care about.
Yeah,
It's important.
yeah.
And how long has Showgirl Legacy been in existence?
The Showgirl Legacy Foundation's been around for 18
18
years.
Oh my
Amazing.
goodness.
18 years, yeah. And you've been on our board for quite a few years.
And it started kind of through, and here I am starting to interview
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
but I'm thinking,
Okay.
because I was just thinking, I remember working with you and helping you with the 2006 Lido reunion
At the
Stardust
Stardust.
just before it closed, and then it was imploded the following spring.
Yeah.
And I don't know if, was that the thing that sort of inspired you to want to start Showgirl Legacy because of the fact that we were losing this
We were becoming history.
Yeah.
Yeah, I brought 650 people back together for
It was an amazing
that reunion.
event.
And then they imploded the hotel a month later. And it became like the event of the year, and Bill Boyd gave us like the red carpet. Once I told him I'd sold 500 tickets, he couldn't believe it. And but it was back then that I realized that, we were becoming history. And, back then it was all before social media and Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking, how can I keep that excitement alive? And maybe, coffee table book or a calendar. And everybody was kind of holding their photos really, close. And they were going to write books. And nobody wanted to let go of those photos. And now, today, right, how many years later, everybody's posting their photos all over Facebook and social media. But so that's kind of when I came up with the Showgirl Art Competition, because I wanted to keep those, those beautiful images of that classic, iconic showgirl alive. And Linda Spinks, who was a good friend of mine, I met her back when I first came into town in 1978. I told her my idea, and she goes, well, why don't you talk to Kelly Mabel at the Las Vegas Academy of the Arts? She's a visual arts teacher there. So I gave her my idea about like a showgirl art competition, and she loved it. And right away it became their curriculum. They studied the history of the stage show spectaculars and the showgirl. And back then there were like all these really close connections. One of the dance students that had graduated from LVA was dancing in Splash, and then she came back as one of the showgirls at our presentations. And then, and back then they could go see Jubilee. They'd have a covered show once a month so the kids could go see Jubilee and see a big stage show spectacular. And now that show closed in 2016.
So in one essence, having that showgirl art competition gives students who have like, what they know of showgirls is like maybe what they see somebody walking around Fremont Strip or walking on the Strip, which are not showgirls. They are showgirl impersonators.
Oh, students have said to me, yeah, one of my girlfriend, she's a showgirl down on Fremont Street. I'm like, no,
she's not.
And so for them to actually get that sort of experience that this was an actual part of Las Vegas history. And, when you think about it, that it was a great place for somebody with a dance background to have a regular paying job where they could be stationary, they could stay, they didn't have to tour all the time.
They could go to school, they could raise their families, you could buy a house back then.
And this just the stories about, coming in, working your first show, then having your break, and maybe going to the grocery store, running an errand, coming back, then doing your second show, and then going out after work and late at night. So those stories are just that's just a part of lore. So like maybe that was my mom and that's what she did. And
right.
I saw backstage, I was way back before they had a lot of HR probably policies,
yeah.
There would be, potentially babies backstage or something like that. So it's just a fascinating part it's so unique to Las Vegas.
Yes. And the kids, even though the shows aren't around still, the kids love that it's, like you said, it's a part of entertainment history. Nobody else has that entertainment history in the United States. Mm-hmm. They do in Paris and other places. But yeah, the students love it. And it's a really, to me and all of us, it's so important to keep that entertainment history alive. People don't realize that it was those big stage show spectaculars and the Rat Pack and all the headliners that launched Las Vegas into becoming, the entertainment capital of the world.
And it's also, you're telling the story as the perspective as somebody who was an actual showgirl. You are not telling the story as an outside person who maybe is from Hollywood, who maybe, and I don't mean to be.
No.
I want to say you're telling the real story.
And I bring in real showgirls that danced in Jubilee.
Not the somebody
yes,
that's writing a script and doesn't perhaps know as much. But
right. But think, they think they do, and they come up with their own interpretation, but it's not necessarily, the real thing. The reality. Mm-hmm. So there are still showgirls or dancers around that can come do those presentations, but they're getting a little bit older. I bring in iconic showgirls in real costumes, but they're probably getting into their late 30s, early 40s. But Jubilee closed in 2016,
so that's 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
It was actually, so it's going to be 10 years ago next month.
Is it next
month?
month?
It was February of 2016, I believe it closed.
Okay.
It could be, yeah.
I would believe that.
Yeah.
So I guess someone could be in their 20s, with dancing in the show. So there could still,
but most of them are going to be more,
I know.
Yeah.
It's just getting further and further out.
All the showgirls and showboys that were in studio for the Showgirl documentary were all Jubilee performers.
Yes.
That whole group was. And they did an amazing job. I just watched that again this morning. I was like, wow. It was just so beautiful.
Yeah.
All the costumes and the dancing, and it really was. It was lovely.
Yeah, no, it's near and dear to all of the three of us sitting right here.
I felt sad for people who never have the opportunity of seeing a real production show with the dancers en masse on stage, coming out on the passerelle, and
because you can talk about it forever, but those visuals.
Yeah.
But there's so many people are starting to post things on Facebook too, like a lot of the Lido de Paris. There's a lot of image, and Hello Hollywood Hello. There's a lot of video footage that you didn't realize was out there. That's finally
because there was no really like a platform for people to be able to share it as easily as they do now.
Yeah. So John's given me a sign, and I'm not sure what it is.
We have a question that's come online that wanted to know about where can we see the documentary you were just talking about, Heather.
Oh, it's on Vegas PBS. It
Okay.
has its own page. So vegaspbs.org. And then it's also on YouTube.
Okay.
So that would be just look up the Showgirl, a Las Vegas icon on YouTube.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. That was a good question. Any other
Yeah.
questions? John, any other questions?
Yeah. Do you happen to know any of the winning lottery numbers for the? I have a number of projects that I want to fund as well.
There you go.
Right. Well, and we got to thank John because he's a big supporter of our talk show, and we couldn't have done it without John. So a shout out to John.
Thank you, John.
Shout out to
Yeah.
John.
Yay, John. Hey, well, I have some headpieces. Do you guys want to put a Showgirl headpiece on?
Okay.
Absolutely.
These are from the Follies for Share.
Would you like this one?
I guess it'll match my outfit.
Okay.
Yes. Here, and I'll have you.
Okay.
We don't have our hair in buns.
I know.
That's
Yeah,
one of
what
the
do we
things
do?
About, how.
They're small, too.
I was going to say, my head looks bigger
Good
than
luck.
this, Luann.
I know, they're very
Oh,
small.
goodness.
Okay.
Well, do you want this one instead, Heather?
I've got a big head.
I do
Oh,
too.
yeah.
This is great. This is from Karen Burns' costume collection. Hello Hollywood, hello, and that was the men's hat.
And it's a challenge because you don't realize how heavy. When you think about showgirls as athletes, because of the fact that they were able to walk downstairs, not looking at their feet with these, and this is not even a really heavy one.
No.
I know that some of the ones in Jubilee weighed 30 pounds.
Yeah, but still to be able to balance. I
You
mean,
don't expect us to actually get off this couch, Luann,
do you have? I think you have it on backwards.
I have it on backwards. Oh my God, you should have told me that. Oh,
Turn this one around.
I just noticed. I'm like,
Oh, God. See, clearly that's why I'm a librarian and I was never a showgirl. Wait.
Oh, now it looks nice.
yeah, that looks
Nice.
good.
Yeah, it does.
That would be a very comical moment.
Okay,
so-
I think we should all stand up.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, watch out.
Oh,
Kim here.
am I hitting a microphone?
Yes,
or-
you are.
Oh, dear Lord.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you both for coming on the Showgirl Connection and being, so instrumental in collecting the Las Vegas Showgirl history. And I hope to have you on again real soon.
Thank you, Luann.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.